What's up, Knicks fans? What's up, Knicks fans? It's your boy Mizzle.
I'm Royale, and I think we trash again.
Yep. Last week we were saying maybe we are not trash, and this week we lose 3 straight. And Royale,
oh my God, we trash again.
We trash again. We are trash again. All right, guys.
Oh man.
Yes, this was
that
a
messed
rough
the weekend up.
Weekend. My whole week has been messed up, my man. My weekend is Sunday today. If you guys didn't know what day today is, you know this is Knicks Weekly. We are on the podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube. Hit that like and that notification. You know what it is. If you like Knicks content like this, you might not like this Knicks content this much. Or that much, I should say, because we're not happy today, man.
No,
I'm not happy today. I'm not happy today. I don't have big energy. I'm big mad. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my big homie, Mike Ortiz on the sound. Mike, we not happy today, man. We're not happy, man. If y'all can hear that. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't been a good week. Lost to the Nets. I lost to the Bulls. And yesterday we got embarrassed at the Garden. All right, I'm gonna get into some closing thoughts, but you guys know what it is. We're gonna get into the recap of the week. We're gonna get into the trivia first before we do that. And by the way, if you guys didn't see last week, I'm sorry, I forgot to the podcast people especially. I forgot to give you the answer to that trivia question. The trivia question: who was the only player in NBA history to be an all-star for the Nets and to be an all-star for the Knicks? Obviously, that question was because we were going to play the Nets, and the answer was Michael Ray Richardson. All right? If you guys do your homework, Michael Ray Richardson was a heck of a player. His career got derailed by some drug use, but that's neither here nor there. That was the answer, all right? It was at the end of the YouTube for the YouTubers who saw it. All right, let's get into this week's trivia question. Roy, I got a good one for them this week. Hopefully this one's a pretty easy one, but I don't know if they'll get tricked. All right, you got the answer right there. I'm gonna ask it, and then we'll get into the recap. Okay. In the 1998-1999 lockout season, played 50 games. It was a shortened season. Who was the Knicks' leading scorer? See how easy that was? Straight to the point that was. Who was the New York Knicks, that particular team with the lockout, only 50 games. Remember, there was Sprewell, Houston, a whole bunch of guys on that team. Who was the New York Knicks? LJ was on that team, I believe. Right? Yeah, LJ.
I wasn't around.
He wasn't around. Yeah. All of these questions are real throwback. You know what I'm saying? He's BSing y'all. He was living, but he wasn't tapped in. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was tapped in. All right. So whoever was tapped in, please give me the answer. We'll give you the answer at the end. If I forget, I'll just put it up. If I don't forget, hooray for me. All right. Let's get into the recaps. First game we played, it was the Battle of the Boroughs. Roy, how you felt about that game before we get into that recap? How you felt about that game?
Man, I mean, going in, I felt like we can give that team a good run. Usually the Nets and the Knicks, the games have been actually more competitive than you would even think for the past 2 or even 3 years.
Yeah, I'll even say 3.
This is a nice pairing, man. Just anytime these teams take the floor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think pretty much what happened that game, man, you got some, I guess pretty much mental lapses, man. Just mental lapses and just not controlling what we can control. Whether the fouls or pretty much of course, defensive lapses. It's just, and then that play at the end with Mitch, it's.
Oh yeah.
I missed some pretty key parts earlier on in the game because I was working. But for pretty much from what I caught, it's just a lot of mental stuff going on with this team.
Absolutely. I did it backwards this time. I wanted to find out how Roy felt before we did the recap, and this is pretty much the recap. It was a close game throughout, right?
Yeah.
It was a close game. It was back and forth. There was a lot of lead changes. I believe there was 10 lead changes in the fourth. You know what I mean? It was a real competitive game. I gotta give it to the Knicks. The Knicks went down, they came back. Like you said, mental mistakes. I have 3 reasons why we lost that game. We lost that game by 2. I believe it's 112-110. The final score, we lost it by 2. James Harden went crazy on us, but that's not why we lost. We had that game in hand, and we were well in reach. Excuse me. We were well in reach of a W that game, but mental lapses. Let me tell you about some of these mental lapses right now. I was getting to the other one. Okay, first one, Tibbs. That challenge left us without a timeout. And I don't mind challenges, but it was a clear foul. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think his ego got the best of him on that one. All right.
I think at that point you just got to try. Like you got to do something when a close call is made and a play that can really
Yeah, but when you look
decide the game.
When you look in the thing and you see it's a clear foul, they always look before they do it.
Yeah.
When you look at the replay, it's a clear foul. What's his name grabbed his hand? I forgot who it was. So we could have used that timeout because I like our chances with a timeout down 2. So we could advance.
Yeah, that was the Mitch play, right?
No, we're gonna get to the Mitch play.
Okay.
This was he didn't challenge the Mitch play. He didn't have a challenge.
Okay, yeah.
He didn't have a challenge. Yeah, he didn't have a challenge. It was somebody, I forget who it was. If you guys remember, put it in the comments, all right? The second thing that happened to us that game was Julius caught a technical foul after KD just shook the you-know-what out of him and hit him with a shot. The refs can't help you. He's like, refs, look what? He just bust your ass. I'm sorry. I know it's a children's show, but they say ass on ESPN, so I can say ass. All right? He just bust your ass. You know what I'm saying? What you crying to the ref about? So he gets a tech. For that. And then the last foul, which you was just talking about, the foul with Mitch on James Johnson, who is not, I'll tell you guys, I watch Nets games as well. James Johnson is no offensive threat. Okay? Just keep your hands up, stay tall, or jump vertically, and we would have had a chance. All right,
know, man. Are you seeing much progression from Mitchell Robinson, man? I mean, obviously he knows how to. Obviously, like
you're alluding to something great. Keep going.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously he's been a critical part of the team. He's been a game changer down low and changing shots. But when you talk about just year to year progression, I feel like defensively there's just still some things that just aren't clicking.
And now he can't even, because he's so big, he can't even go out to the perimeter and get some threes for us, block some threes for us like he used to when he was skinny Mitch.
Yeah.
Right? Man, and it looks like he keeps getting hurt for anything now. He wasn't, smaller Mitch was not this bad. Like everything hurts him. Like Noel.
He's turned into these big men. They've turned into Eugene from Hey Arnold, man. It's just mistakes waiting to happen.
I know my son is gonna really love that comparison, man. But yeah, so that's why we lost that game. Let's get off that game and let's get to the next game. Let's remember that was the first game that Kimba was benched. Kimba was benched this week. Excuse me. I forgot to say that. Kimba is now out of the rotation. I'm sorry. I forgot to say that. Kimba was benched this week. That was the first game. Alec Burks was at the point guard doing his thing. I didn't mind it at all. Our leading scorer for that game, I believe, was Alec Burks with 25 points. So, all right, offensively, we're getting a lot offensively at that point guard spot with Alec Burks there. All right. The next game, no RJ, no Noel. And the game against the Nets, RJ was sick, only played nine minutes. He only played 9 minutes. He was sick. He was battling a bug, non-COVID related, people. So the next game, we did not have RJ. We did not have Nerlens Noel. Knicks start off horribly. Levine terrorizes Fournier and Burks. Burks, you know the thing with Burks is he tries to defend.
Yeah, he's a good effort guy.
He's a good effort guy. He's 6'6". So even if he messes up on defense, I get why he's there and not Kimba. Kimba is 6 foot. He cannot guard anybody. D Rose can't guard anybody neither. Right? So it's, I see why he's there, right? So but Roy, I don't know if you remember that game, Levine and DeRozan. Wait, let's start with Levine first, because in the beginning of the game, it was Levine.
Yeah.
Terrorizing the backcourt. By the way, Fournier's best defensive effort, I believe he had 4 steals that game.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, his best defensive effort and that block at the end that he got on somebody that was, and then they had to challenge it, and it was an actual block.
Yeah.
Somebody tried to dunk it on him. I feel like it was Caruso. Guys, I'm sorry.
I believe it was Caruso.
It was Caruso. Yeah, it was Caruso. And Evan Fournier had that block. Evan Fournier looked great defensively. I'm not even, for him, that was a great defensive effort. Okay? But guys, meant nothing.
I was pulling my hair when he got burned by DeRozan on that key play to, on that go ahead bucket near the end of the game.
Yeah. And that's what I was gonna get.
There's got to be somewhere we can hide. I mean, after some point, you got to figure you got to hide this guy, right?
Right.
On defense.
Right. You can't have him on guys that are. Let me tell you something about DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. Those guys are elite scorers. All right, they're not good scorers. They're not. What I've been seeing this week, because I saw them last night as well. What I've been seeing from these guys this week, they are elite at what they do. Okay?
Yeah.
They're mid-rangers. Those guys, they're mid-rangers and elite. Not just good, not all right. This isn't a Chicago Bulls show, so I'm gonna leave it here. But understand, they are elite, and they showed our team how elite they could be that day, because right after, you just alluded to it, right after LaVine terrorized us, guess who closed out the game? DeRozan started to heat up. He closed out the Knicks. No one on our team was able to stop him. Julius choked at the line at the end. We had the game in hand again. DeRozan takes advantage. Game over. Leading scorer for that game was Julius Randle with 30 points. Bulls have nothing for Julius Randle, and we have nothing for DeRozan and Zach LaVine.
Yeah, I don't think Julius took I don't think Julius really went to the 3-ball that game at all either.
Right.
I mean, that's an undersized team. Anytime you play them, you got to go to the rack. You got to take advantage. And the Knicks, offensively, it feels like for the most part they pretty much did what they should do. They attacked the paint. They were aggressive. They showed good effort.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
It turned out to be a real close game.
Yeah, it was a real close game. I believe we went down that game as well. I believe we were down and we
went down and we came
down
back.
Huge, 21 points. That's right. We were down huge, 21 points. Lest I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Vucevic, and which goes to what you were saying. Yeah, which goes to what you were saying about Mitch. Like, Mitch, how many times did we get burnt by Vucevic 3? I get it. The game plan is to pack the paint. That is Thibodeau's scheme. It's not just Thibodeau. It's a lot of this copycat league people. If you watch a lot of the good defensive teams, they got Thibodeau's scheme, which isn't his scheme. Yeah. A lot of the elite teams use that scheme. The problem with it is you always leave an open 3, and if your guys aren't athletic enough to close out, Mitch used to be when he was younger. I mean, not younger, but smaller.
Yeah, he was leaping.
He was when he was more lean. He was able to close out, go get it, right? And we know Noel is good with that. If Noel was playing that game, we would have had a better chance, I think. You know what I'm saying? Because he stays out there, he gets some steals. He makes it hard for their guards and for their bigs who want to put the ball on the floor. He makes it hard. Not necessarily Mitch. You understand what I'm saying? So we're building up for some stuff for the closing thoughts. So we're done with that game. I'm going to talk about the next game, but I'm not going to spend no time. We started it off. I thought I was going to have a good Saturday. It was a matinee. It was against the Nuggets. They were coming home.
Those are the ones that hurt the most.
Yes. Yeah, those are, because then you have the rest of your day where you salty.
Man, now you got to be ready. You got to be mad for the rest of the day.
And you salty. Like, my kids like, what's wrong with you, Dad? I'm like, nothing. Shut up. You know what I mean? Like, why am I doing this? You know what I mean? Why am I doing this? I did not drink. I'm not a horrible father. It's the Knicks. I'm not spending no time on that game. That game was atrocious. That's why I spent time on the other games, because we showed effort, we showed fight, we showed who we are. I don't mind losing 2 points, something like that, getting down, and if you fight back, I don't mind that. But we went down 30 in the fourth. I turned that thing off, and y'all know what I want to say. Not thing. I turned that thing off, okay? Because I am not here to be wasting my time watching people not give effort. I'm giving more effort rooting for you than you giving on the court, okay? Though that team yesterday didn't have a whole bunch of their players. Some dude named Najee. Why does some obscure player always have to get their career high?
He fits the bill. He just fit the bill perfectly.
Yes, man.
Of the have your garden moment.
Jeez, I mean, come on, man. Cut it out. Najee,
He averages 9 points.
Come on, man. That's why I'm not even spending no time on that game. Who's the leading scorer? Originally I put in my notes, I don't care who the leading scorer was. I'm not even going to talk about it. The leading scorer was Julius Randle, 24 points. Who cares? Who cares? All right, let's get to these closing thoughts so we can finish this show. I know you guys don't want to see a long show of us complaining. All right? But we got to talk about some of this stuff. So the Knicks bench Kimba and get worse? Right? Like, at least we're winning. We won one and lost one with Kimba.
It's puzzling, man.
We benched Kimba, and I was going back and forth on Twitter with some guy that was talking about, they blamed it all on Kimba. Listen, guys, they did not blame it all on Kimba. But if you look at Kimba's numbers, they were atrocious.
Yeah, it was justified.
They were atrocious. It was a justified bench. So don't go, Tibbs don't know what he's doing. Tibbs don't know what he's doing, and you do? You know what I'm saying? Cut it out. Cut it out, all right? Kimba deserved to get benched. Hopefully this doesn't stay this way, or hopefully they're looking for a trade partner or whatever, which we're going to allude to, but Kimba deserved to get benched. We talked about it ad nauseum on this show. All the other Knicks podcasts talked about it. Kimba this, Kimba that, Kimba this, and then as soon as Kimba get benched, why they bench Kimba? Cut it out. Cut it out. Look at his numbers. He only plays a few minutes and he's averaging 12 points a game. 12 points on 41 or 43% shooting from the field goal. Doo-doo. If you're scoring 25 or 21 and 43%, okay, you're a high volume shooter. You're a high volume shooter with 12 points a game, 3 assists. Cut it out. And that's how much time I'm spending on that. I don't know if you want to spend more time on Kimba, but come on, all right? So Kimba gets benched and we lose more. Julius, I don't know if you agree with me. I don't think that dude likes fans. He can't play in front of fans.
Oh man,
he can't play. Remember, let's do our little real quick, our diligence real quick. Roy had no fans last year, had his best year. Toward the end, when the fans started coming in, and when I say the end, I'm talking about the playoffs. That's when the fans were at full capacity. I'm not talking about 2,000 whatever. I'm talking about full capacity. What did Julius turn into in the playoffs? Right?
Turned into Royce White.
Right? I don't think this guy wants to play in front. I don't think he is built for Madison Square Garden fans. I love Julius. I love his game. His shooting numbers have dipped off tremendously. I was going to do it last 10 games, but he's right about 20, 21, 10, and about 5. Yeah. Last year he was about 24, 10, and 6. Okay? It's the shooting numbers. It's like 20-something or real low 30s. I think last 10 games, 20-something% from 3. But he's 30-something, real low 30s, and low 40s, 42, 43%. His shooting numbers are down. I don't think what do you think about this thought I have about him not being able to play in front of Madison Square Garden fans?
I think it's more so, I don't think it's as much about the fans. I think it's more so he's got to figure out he's really got to move more into his role on the team, and he's got to figure out just how he fits us best. I feel like he's kind of caught in the bind between having to be the guy that's creating for others and having to be the guy that's playing hero and, trying to lead the team and score all the points.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at the turnover. You're looking at some of the crucial turnovers and every now and then missing open guys here and there. I feel like he has to gel a little more with these new guys around him, and he also needs to have his role, just what he's doing on the court and what his objective is game to game. It has to be more defined for him.
I agree with you. I agree with you. That's it. Gotta be that. RJ didn't take the next step. I thought he was gonna take the next step this year. He looked good. He looked good with the. There was a 5-game stretch. He was like 27 a game, 25 a game, something like that. He looked good for that stretch, but he didn't take the next step. His shooting is bad, to say the least. You know what I mean? Yeah. And Tibbs say in an era of positionless basketball, a true point guard isn't necessary. Isn't necessary. I disagree because, like you were just saying, that ball. I mean, the ball does not move. You can't. Julius can't be your point guard, right? Kimba Walker was only getting you 3 assists, and let me let you know. I let Rem know this already. Kimba is not a point guard, all right? Like, he was not finding people. Obi would be open every time. Like, he was not finding people. He doesn't know how to really facilitate like that. That's not his strength. His strength used to be scoring, shooting, getting off the dribble, being quick, those type of things. Elusiveness, that is his strength. He's not really a point guard. We need somebody who is going to facilitate, understand facilitation. You understand what I mean? Because Burks, yeah, I get it. You put him there, that's like a Band-Aid. But y'all got some, not y'all, but we got some problems. I'm part of this, right? Somehow, some way, we part of this. We got some problems. What do you think, Roy?
Yeah, that facilitator is needed, and Theo Pinson is also needed, if you ask me.
That's a fact. We miss Theo, man.
Somebody has to light a spark with these guys. The spark has to get lit somehow. These guys need to get inspired. Again,
yeah, they do.
That's what they're looking like. It's looking like professionals need to be inspired to put in effort. Mm-hmm. As crazy as that sounds.
All right, last thought. Is it time to explore some trades?
Man, I'm not even. I feel like maybe at the moment, Leon. I think the mob boss. He's always going to be looking at what's out there and a way to get better, as I think you always should be able. I don't think there's a rush yet. It's not I don't see it as a dire situation, because the way I see it, the team it's gonna fall. We're gonna kind of just teeter around, that 6 to 7.
Oh, I don't even want to hear
just
7.
Teeter around the mediocrity thing. But I think at the end of the day, we haven't been good for long, man. So the point is, yes, we were ahead of schedule during development. But I think at the point you want these guys to continue gelling. You want to you want to establish some chemistry and just remain competitive, remain in the conversation, and eventually guys look at your team and figure, you know what, there's something that these guys are missing that I think I can bring, but I see something good there. Wow. Speaking of guys that want to force their way out of teams and stuff like that, that's how a lot of these teams come together. So it's still early. I don't think it's too late. I don't think it's time to start burning things down.
Roy.
But I don't think it's time to chase trades yet.
Okay, not chase. I agree with you there. Not chase a trade, but Roy, something got to be done. Let me tell you why. Last year around this time where we was lamenting and it was 9-13 or 11-14, what they did, they brought D Rose. They brought in D Rose and something was done and we were able to go on a run and they brought in what they needed, which is what you're saying. Don't chase. They didn't chase no wild things, but Roy, and I know. You should have Lonzo Ball on your team because that's who you wanted over the summer. Yep. I should have DeMar DeRozan on my team because I've been said that we need that guy on our team. Yep. And look, they're having excellent season. Lonzo Ball just hit a game winner last night, or a game dagger last night. Not game winner, a dagger last night in Brooklyn. DeRozan closed them out yesterday. DeRozan, LaVine. We had nothing to do with LaVine, but we could have had DeRozan. We could have had Lonzo Ball. They traded them it was a signing trade.
There's about 28 other teams that could have too, man. It happened.
Bruh. Roy, you too optimistic today. We gotta be cursing these people out. Leon Rose, you was my man, but I'm cursing you out today.
I'm not.
Why did you cut them corners?
I'm not panicking just yet, man. I think if anything, you have to tinker around with your lineups as well. You know, I think eventually you got to find some minutes for Grimes because if the guys coming off the bench are who's really bringing that spark, you got to find a way to get these guys involved in the game plan more.
Absolutely, I agree with that. Tibbs, you hear that? Tibbs, you hear that? We don't got any more time. We already went overtime talking all these people.
Effort.
Guys,
effort,
guys. Effort. Exactly.
I've been wanting to say, like, have you and I know we're running, but like, have you just noticed these just simple things just aren't happening anymore? That you're usually like, when's the last time you seen somebody fall to the ground and the entire bench got up to lift them up?
That's a fact.
That's not happening anymore.
Not happening.
I remember last season, after every game, I would log on to Twitter and I would see footage of Emmanuel Quickly, Obi Toppin, and RJ Barrett on the court working on their shot after games, staying overnight. And you're looking at RJ's numbers; they're not any better. You already figured he's going to be shooting less, getting less points because they added some more offense, they added some more scorers, but. Even Tibbs said it. He's not working on his shots as much this season. Tibbs even said it in the press conference.
Wow. See?
So they have to figure out what's going on. Yeah. They got to start bringing whatever was working last year. They got to start bringing that effort back.
Defense. Defense was working last year. You know what I mean? Defense. Bring some defenders back. All right, guys. We went overtime. Listen. If you like content like this, don't forget to follow us on Twitter, follow us on IG, add us on Facebook. Don't forget to subscribe, like, throw on your notifications so you can get content like this and so that we can share it to more Knicks fans like yourself, all right? The answer to the trivia question was Patrick Ewing. I know, it seems real easy, right? Nah, Patrick Ewing averaged 17.4 that year. I believe Spreewell and Houston just missed him with 16 points a game. Right there, they just missed him. But Pat, he was still our guy, and we played those Spurs in the finals that year, and that's who we will be playing on Monday. The next game will be against the Spurs in San Antonio at 8:30 Monday. That is 12/6, December 6th, 8:30 p.m. Roy, will you be watching?
Hopefully it's not the Jakob Podol show. When
He's not in the Garden, so, it's not in the Garden. So, hopefully, we got some hope. It's not in the Garden. By the way, we are 3 games under 500 in the Garden. Sucks. Bad. Anyway, leaving on a bad note. Sorry, guys. It's your boy, Mizzle.
And I'm Royale.
And we out of here.